What's happening, people? And once again, welcome back to youtube.com/CubCamTV for this, another edition of CUBREACTS on a Monday morning. We are up nice and early to get back into business. We have got a ton of new music to get into this week as we continue to grow as a channel and as a collective of people enjoying the same sounds. I've got to say thank you to each and every one of you. We have just hurtled past 62,000 subscribers, and now we are looming up to 63,000. How high can we take this before the end of the year? I don't know. It's entirely up to you guys, so please do get involved if you are new to the channel. If you are new, as I said, make sure you're hitting that subscribe button on the right hand side of the page, of course turning notifications on as well, leaving a like, leaving a comment, and all of that good stuff. Now today we're getting into this one from Reekado Banks. It goes by the name of Holla. Now this is a tune that my fellow reactors have all said is an absolute scorcher. It's a tune that a lot of people have told me I need to be checking out because apparently it is a very, very vibrant return to form for Reekado Banks, so I'm excited to check it out. Without further ado, let's jump into it and see what we're saying. Let's go. Already like that bass line. So moody. So again, we're flirting with the sort of amapiano texture.
I say lo ma japa, anybody lo ma salo. Where I come from far, baby, my love far. Oh, baby, up in the car.
Okay. It's an interesting transition over the introduction. Obviously, you've got those kind of whistles, which are, again, a very typical element of a lot of modern amapiano flavors. You've obviously got Reekado Banks' vocal, which is very skippy. There's definitely some sort of different influences going on with his vocal approach on this one. Again, very skippy, and you can hear that energy within his vocal texture. Again, the drums sound good. There's almost like a lo-fi kind of feel to the introduction on this, though. All the drums are a little bit moody. Again, that bass line, very, very moody, kind of pulsating away in the lower end of the mix down. Sounding cool though, sounding very interesting, very fusion heavy. So again, this is something that I always look for in sort of modern tunes, and it tends to be a thing that people gravitate towards quite often. It's that euphoric moment in the first minute. That moment you realise, okay, they found something catchy and they want us to hear it as soon as possible. The introduction, very, very cool, but then it kind of switches, and it's almost like someone holding string back, like elastic string, and then they let go. That's kind of how the introduction on this feels, because then you're suddenly, bang, you're into the main part of the show. Really nice use of kind of rolling log drums on this one, and some really, really kind of interesting bass action going on at the same time. Then you couple that up with, again, some really kind of unique sort of synth work going on in the background, and obviously Reekado's vocal, which is driving the tune forward. Very smooth.
So I stack up my money. I'm a bench, I love me worry. Although I don't need go so shit. My shorty. Okay, your body necessary. You cause emergency.
Again, listen to how much is going on with the notation of that bass line down below, man. Like, it's literally like just constantly rolling up and down the scale. The thing that's kind of making this not a typical amapiano tune, well, there's a lot of things. Obviously, you're not rolling with sort of typical 4/4 drums as well, but it's almost like they've taken a lot of the instrumentation that you would hear in and around an amapiano tune and kind of thrown it into. It's almost like they've almost reverse engineered the drum section, so the drums are completely different to what you would expect, but you still got that kind of moody overall texture, that kind of ominous feel you get with a lot of amapiano stuff, and it's really cool. It's just cool to see the different places you can take this as a fusionistic sound. And again, Reekado's vocal over the top is really pulling everything together. Very, very smooth.
Like you walking me, I never see. My shorty. Okay, your body necessary. You cause emergency. I like you walking me, I never see. So I
do love hearing long drums, man.
I'ma get guinea cocoa. Between the fine go show koto. If I'm a show koto.
And again, it has that kind of, there's a very kind of subtle call and respond going on here with Reekado's vocal. You've got the sort of, and then the second bit has a chorus on it, so you're going, and again, that call and respond brings the tune to life. It allows us to be kind of drawn in. It naturally pulls you in as a listener. And again, loving that sort of subtle use of log drums, which just kind of flicks in and around the low end. They just kind of pop up here and there. They're almost like it's almost like eating popping candy, and then suddenly you'll get like in the side of your face. That's kind of how this feels as a bass line, because you're not expecting them to pop up, and then suddenly, oh wow, that's there, and it's refreshing for it to not be overused. It's refreshing for the sound to be just kind of sprinkled like a good piece of seasoning on food. That's kind of how it sounds. Real euphoria going on with this one, man. Again, something that's very quick to be noticed about this is how quick those transitions are. Again, a typical Amapiano tune tends to be around sort of 3:30 to 4 minutes long, because they often will have these more sort of pronounced build-ups. There's a lot more focus on kind of that euphoric kind of amplification. The idea of a tune slowly getting where it's supposed to be. There's a level of progression going on in a lot of the tracks that we hear. This, however, kind of cuts all of those bits out. This is almost like a fast-track version of those, and it just goes straight into, right, 20 seconds intro, we want the euphoria, then we want a breakdown, then we want the euphoria again. This is almost like a kind of fast track version of that, and it's not necessarily a bad thing, but you definitely do lose a sense of that you lose a sense of the majesty, I feel, of Amapiano when you have to kind of strip things back and you only have like 2.5 minutes to get to where you're going to go. 2 minutes 14 in this case. This is a very, very short tune, but in the moments that we get the tune, you do get to enjoy a lot of very spicy bits. So yeah, we'll let it run through to the end and then give it a final breakdown. Let's go. And there we go. Sounds of this one, Reekado Banks. Very nice use of the whistle on this as well. I do like that sort of sound. It is something that always puts a little smile on my face, which also makes it impossible to whistle, which is a very annoying thing. But there we go, Holla Me. Interesting tune. Again, I know a lot of the other reactor community was very, very excited about this one. I know Viv absolutely loves this one. It's been on her story all weekend. And it's a tune that I think definitely has a lot of solid points. For me, I'd have liked it to have been maybe a little bit longer, maybe push it up to that sort of 2:45 mark, because then at least you don't have to kind of rush the outro or rush the intro. I'd have actually preferred this if the intro was a little bit longer, because it gives you time to get into where you're going to go. That euphoric moment can be left a little bit further. And obviously you're trying to hit the kind of apex of the tune immediately. You're trying to get to the catchy bit straight away, which is fine. I just feel they had room on this, because 2 minutes 14 is a short tune regardless of what the sort of sound or genre it is. I think it could have been stretched out a little bit longer, just so you can kind of take it in as an experience rather than kind of, I don't know, being served the main course before a starter, if that makes sense. There was no kind of palate clencher prior to the main sort of thing of the meal happening. So I always use food analogies. I don't know why, but there we go. Maybe I'm just a very hungry boy. This one though, I did enjoy it. I like a lot of the elements about it. I like the use of those kind of casually sprayed log drums. I think the way they're done so kind of unpredictably is great. I love the kind of use of the almost reverse engineered drum lines, so they're not what you'd typically expect from an Amapiano tune. And again, Reekado Banks does bring a serious level of catchiness to his vocal on this one as well. So very enjoyable stuff. Very enjoyable stuff indeed. As always, friends, if you are new to the channel and you have enjoyed this one as a technical analysis and breakdown, because that's what we do here, we do talk a fair bit, make sure you're getting involved by hitting that subscribe button on the right hand side of the page. Of course, turning notifications on as well, leaving a like, leaving a comment, and all of that good stuff. And we shall see you all next time. Peace.
Sounding so good right now. But they're sounding a bright and
Yes, it's Kovu. Stay locked. TV.
Boy, Slim Oldfit right here, and you're locked on to the best breakfast with man like Cole.
Yo, this is Aaron Glitch, and you're tuning to the sounds of Kovu right now. You already know the thing. Bad boy selector. Alright, let's go.